All right, peace. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Giving double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. And giving double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, I want to do a response video to, I guess, this show called Philly First48, and how he's having an interview with a guy by the name of Mullaz. I guess they had like a gang in Philly that was called the Goonie Gang, right? I think he's a part of OBH, right? Because he's I believe, the younger brother of our Ab, right? And I guess he goes by the name of Mullaz. And basically what he was talking about was, their contribution to, quote unquote, the rap scene in Philly. How they was like making money, making videos and stuff like that, and they didn't really have like a major backer. They backed theyself. They became a team within theyself, and I think it was maybe about 60 of them. And, they was making videos and things of this nature. But I believe that a lot of the money that they was getting was like from the streets and the drug game. And I'm not really going to go into a lot of that stuff. I'll probably do that on another time. But what I see from these brothers is they are basically traps that is used by the so-called white man to put a lot of our people in prison. Because we got to understand that in the Constitution, it says that basically they abolish slavery unless you do a crime. So a lot of these jails and things of this nature that house majority so-called black people, whether they Puerto Ricans, they house a lot of Mexicans and things of this nature, but mainly so-called Negroes, is because there's really a concerted effort to destroy a lot of our people. And a lot of times we can't really see it because we caught up into the cares of this world, right? And the cares of the system. And as a result of this, we become what you would call casualties of war. And one aspect of this is our young men. Most of our young men, we don't have proper leadership at home. We don't have proper leadership in the communities. And a lot of us don't really know a lot of our history. And what I mean by history, I'm talking about the history of the so-called Negro. See, a lot of us don't really understand that our ancestors that was brought over here via slaves, that they was the natural and the spiritual seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And a lot of us don't really know our contribution and what we supposed to be doing in these last days, brothers and sisters. And see, in these last days, we supposed to be gearing ourselves to come up out of captivity. And see, what's happening is a lot of our brothers that still sleep, whether they involved in quote-unquote false religions, because a lot of it, in Philly, you have a strong Islamic presence in Philadelphia, in the so-called black communities, whether it's in New York, in Philadelphia, and you have a pretty much strong Islamic population out here in Chicago too. But you got a lot of those Muslims, man. They are just as grimy as a lot of these guys that's in these quote unquote street gangs, right? So when I was listening to the brother talk about how they kind of took over the YouTube scene, pushing out videos and stuff like that, we gotta ask ourselves, what videos are they pushing? See, a lot of these videos that they're pushing are nothing but drill music. See, and this music is the new crack cocaine of the black community. And see, a lot of times this music is a new it's a new drug that is basically gearing our people to destruction. Because all of it talks about is about a bunch of vain stuff. Whether you getting money by any means, or a lot of these brothers talk about certain murders that they do in the streets on wax and what we will call slang, right? So you have a lot of the FBI and things of this nature. They look at a lot of this stuff and they start putting two and two together, and next thing you know, these guys, they in prison. So the first scripture that I want to read from, the First Peter. Well, this probably be the only scripture. First Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant." And see, that's what's wrong with the so-called black community, is because we don't understand our culture. We don't understand who we are as a nation of people. We're still drunk. See, because a sober person, he can pay attention to his surroundings. So a lot of times when you drunk, right, a lot of times you discombobulated, right? And see, that's what's wrong with the so-called black community. We have been discombobulated via what you would call slavery. And as a result of this, we are prey to a lot of different people. And we're being exploited by a lot of people. And one of the exploitations that's being used against us in a lot of these social medias is because they use our inability to come together as a people and always putting out negative things to make trillions of dollars. See? And our people don't understand that they are the oil and the wine that is still making this system stay afloat. Once we come into the knowledge of self, brothers and sisters, once we come into the knowledge of self and start coming together as a nation of people, this system will fall, see? But as long as we continue to be separated and continue to sell drugs and continue to make music that is disrespectful to the community, we're going to always be in prison, both physically and spiritually. So it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." And how is he going to do that? He walks up and down seeking whom he may come and agitate, see? And what are some of the agitations in our community? You got a lot of these different gangs in the communities that their sole purpose is to hold their own people hostage, right? By shootings, drug sellings, turf wars, and disrespecting the community. See, bringing young kids into these organizations. And we don't really understand what's going on. This is a war against our people to continue to destroy us as a nation of people. So I hope that you got something out of this, brothers and sisters. We have to be vigilant about what is going on in our community because it is a concerted effort to destroy the so-called black community. With that being said, peace, shalom.